Oh yeah. Hey. Give us in no. Amen ni jia bebusiemu papa. Na bema ka give us P capsules. And ni give us co capsules bomu nom dia. Na eni jia ni ahoden no. Wabrudo. Give us P capsules.
And men what if you do what you do kron efa.
Give us co capsules.
A painful a batter one more menu for an kwada when if you do me nunca home. I was just to be a motorphone call. Give us Herbal Center. Teshi Mobile. And a Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and then 050 68
FD Ashusha sa ejedi enkra to yimu agya to mu se eye.
Hey breku, Mr. Doctor your way ya say is Yan Natural Clinic doctor. E dey no dey say area. Enti e bibi donko a. Doctor no ya dio. Oh yes sharp. Na say we hu me no yire no. The pressure ne diabetes ye no. Se wa ye kama say.
Ah, na doctor 3 days asem na okay.
Ai wonu ana 3 days na mo kan ko ya ne say.
Ayarefo no ana friend doctor 3 days. Na dro kan wana pepepepepe. Na ayarefo no sese. Juma wodie na hu. Yade ban diabetes, awo, asthma, se prostate have ma fibroid. Afeso ho ya oya. Yade bia wo de ko doctor 3 days ho. Wan kasa ba kasa wanum. Sa doctor na dro na je okra. Oya wonyi ni owia na abaje die. Doctor 3 days. Udi ni wadwuma se. Awfro ka se wo ko Zen Natural Clinic. Enkra or old Ashoman. Aloe Johnson hwa.
Tamanso Ashaiman Christian Village adjacent ICGC.
Zen Natural Clinic. Samanfo di akwani aba hwa ni. Obi ode ne yade akwa obi a. Na nsachi na dan nsembo ni asanko a. Doctor 3 days. Wo memedro bi. Sabema yusubi ni oba de da. Oba nasma na se matia ka so. Oba so yusubi na be matia ka so. Wonderful. Production 0553 213 587 and 0246 594117.
Aji masu.
Ah, kwesi padi na ye wa waso yi. Wonti Chris Pat for nkana.
Chris Pat. Omonso na yina.
Chris Pat Hearing Center for edi aso adwuma mu akotene. Se bia wo ye adwuma wo baabi adede wo. Ana wonanse wo hunu se waso afiti. Ana mpo se wo hwe TV ana wo tie radio. Gise wo ma volume no kosoro pa ansa na wotimi ate. Wenum nyina eye niema edi aso yare brew. Se niema boboso nyina wo hye bi nso se ba wo so dia. Ene etutu America. Go Chris Pat Hearing Center sesia. Wo do be famfidi ahodo mu. Na se wo wi a wo mama digital hearing aid. Wo anso ye ne bi wo ho. Tema Kumase enenkran. Wo hia wo afro numbers yi so 0244 675 962 and 0248 878 057.
Akosia medase pa.
Chris Patana, woman no mudi asonwo adwuma mu akotene.
Dia paso. Ahoto FM ajeso. Yenem wiem se wiem shen.
You have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen? Question that you have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? Question that you have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen? Question that you have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen?
And it's all IMF. What they say, minimum answer. Into one na minimum. Adina ye dibu o man ni ho. And it's all IMF. What they say, minimum answer. Into one na minimum.
Bayama Sisemira to Ahasam. Manne Ahuto FM 92.3 FM. Alafierike.
All right, 14 minutes into 3 p.m. Still live on the radio. Ahuto 92.3. I was just Simpieso and I was go so awu 8 no. Na yakom rasha bedwam. And it can kuntu kruku for Riata, the finance minister, at the media budget review, no, at your brain. I wish our Casa Bebre, na Ninsam Kikani, Yanana said, Yedikai, Majidis are the right and news to phone about one tougher, but Bakumi and Nubi about your film. Or just Osha Ghana, Yensika Sama Tita Pansama, a Russia Ukraine war, and Afro Sono, Russia. COVID-19 enu na magana yensika sama nkoyi But Okasano and about me, I say,
Question that you have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana?
Right. So it is crystal clear. Say global phenomenon like global crisis, ACC and to me escape Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana. So pen Dr. Baumia can a tro say was a GD say no namagana in Sikasem and but mind you, what bank ni IMF for more issues be about to Sanagani in Sikasem grano and now calling just enye who abeg anesa before say COVID-19 kura eba. So these are many more way. I think so we're going to digest it on your super duper radio station. I want on 92.3. I've been soon at just enya di oba G so be G sikebio bio. Masika nasa and the would you want about G or made mention of you start ni others. Crime be almost a railway or to tell so it's about 97, 96, 97 percent completed. Just a nyama bebre. So I think so you be doing come up. You be doing come on na bibian so I come up and to Dr. 3 days young naturalistic clinic and so I yaresabia young kumasi atimatim na yebutuo na ne ka nyina ne se ye baga na ha achepa na yare aye kwanko niema nkoye amfa ma me se obi benya wane fi yare ama me no wanse nyina na yare na ama me no wanse enti bomodin se wutie me na wie Zia Naturalistic Clinic penifo se yanka nkyerɛw se yare bia adokro na niema nkoye se ba na wo mu haw se ba ne nam haw se eba no kyese yare bia no Zia Naturalistic se bra na omobete ne te edi amount Dr. 3 days na ye frɛ no se ba diabetes se ye stroke se ye dompemu yare se ye namu yare se ye ulcer se ye koko se ye prostate hypertension STD and I say typhoid goiter ye frɛ no compo but for compo no mpo dia o se yanka nkyerɛ se onfa sika nka na mo obete ne te edi flo edi amount Zia Naturalistic say yanka nkyerɛ se nei uba ora showmana or Alloway Junction. Now, Alloway Junction, we need to 0244 264 001 0244 264 001 and Ashama Tulaku Christian Village. Yani ICGC no na edin hwenum 0559 371 927 0559 371 927 Zia Naturalistic Clinic or see 3 days per nompia ebuo benya enkwa na bibia nso aye kama pa edi amount maminka wo se meko yenko ne kwa na pinti asase so enda ho kwa kwancha df ya disika na ye quick credit and investment microcredit limited si yenka nkyere wo se oye dwumaku a obabusua na ne wo hia nyina ne Ghana card wo de Ghana card eba obabua na wotumi enya mu loans bi ana busua letumi aboa so ye abanjuma ye ni ana wankasa wo ye wadwuma omo wakwenya no se ye ma loans na so ye nka nkyira wo se loans na ye ma wo no ehu hia nsihu bebre mesi nsihu no eti se aboa so no adwen esua kete enti bo modern se wo de Ghana card beba na ye ma obosua na eno be ma wakwenya na wa frɛ 0302 200 0302 200 390 0302 200 390 and 0596 920 833 0596 920 833 na bibia so aye kama o se yanka nkyerɛ se nipa bonfo adɔso nti hwɛ na obi amfa suakwa andano eye a chinchina ewo eye sa kwan no so right my young cross over na the minority no eye press conference na yentie ne yamra sesia
if he sacked him his government will collapse further but we the people of this country will show them the door in 2024 and we are told that they are trying to engineer the voters register by laying a CI that disenfranchises people like I told you before Ghana card as we speak 38,000 people in the Adaklu are in the census 25,000 of them qualified to get Ghana card. But as we speak, less than 2,000 people have Ghana card in Adaklu. because they feel that many of the people in Adaklu will vote against NPP. So the best thing to do is to disenfranchise them. It will not happen. I call on people of this country to send a message to NPP. Whatever you do, you have lost this election. No amount of propaganda and lies will save you. Thank you very much.
92.3.
Yeah, go on.
Good afternoon. Let me start by saying that Ajegong, things fall apart. Things fall apart in the sense that credibility matters a lot in economic management. Forecasting is everything. The 2022 budget, I recall when it was read first in November last year, got investors very jittery, and as a result, they started exiting Ghana's market. Today, the minister's media review of the 2022 budget is worse. The media review document that he just presented is nothing but empty. Nothing but empty. We have a country that is in crisis economically. Everything in this country is not working. Yet the minister responsible for finance appeared before us and said nothing. He failed to address the very concerns of the ordinary Ghanaian. Today, he comes here once again only to tell us that he has missed all the targets he set in the 2022 budget. Every one of them, he could not achieve it. Everyone he has missed. Only for him to propose target that he's going to miss again in the year 2022 by the end of the year. For example, the Bank of Ghana reported to us that in the first half of the year 2022, June, the fiscal deficit is approximately 6%. Only for the Minister of Finance, who has already done first half of the year fiscal deficit almost 6%, to tell us that by the end of the year, the fiscal deficit will be 6% again. How possible? How possible? At the time that you have revised your revenue down by 3.7 billion Ghana cedis, you have only cut expenditure by 1.8 billion Ghana cedis. So in total, the effect is that you are increasing your fiscal deficit by 2 billion. Yet he's telling us that the fiscal deficit is coming down. How can this be possible? Again, our minister responsible for finance informed all of us that the GDP growth for the year 2022 has been revised from 5.8% to 3.7%. I beg to say, even the 3.7%, he cannot achieve it. Fitch has just informed us that the GDP growth for the year 2022 will be 2.5%, the worst ever in the history of Ghana. Colleagues, things fall apart. Things fall apart. Unfortunately, we do not have the competent hands to take Ghana out of this mess. That's true. We do not have competent hands to take this country out of the mess that we've seen ourselves. Ajegong, things are out of hand. I'm disappointed in the statement today as a Ghanaian that I am thinking that if a country is in crisis to the extent that your debt is unsustainable, when you come and appear before the people's representative, Parliament of the Republic, first you have to speak the truth. Second, you have to speak in a way that you get public buy-in. It's a missed opportunity. The minister has missed an opportunity to tell the true state of Ghanaian economy to the people of Ghana, for all of us to accept it and get a buy-in. Unfortunately, we only heard propaganda and things that are not possible, only for him to report to us that he has missed every target and is going to even miss more, and set unrealistic target that is going to drive this country further into the ditch. This government, all what they know to do most is that they think that every problem must be confronted with a debt. I call it one problem, one debt. One problem, one loan. One P, one L. That is what this government is practicing. Today, our public debt is in excess of 400 billion Ghana cedis. Yet the minister in this document failed to talk about public debt. He failed to talk to us that Ghana is not in a position to be able to repay our debt. I was thinking that he will use this opportunity to address the issue of debt restructuring. Colleagues, let me be honest with you. Our country is now highly indebted middle income country. IMIC. Our position is worse than the HIPIC days. That is where we are. I expected the minister to be truthful, candid, but unfortunately, what we witnessed today is nothing but incompetence. We've seen incompetence at the highest level. I've never seen anything like this since I became Ghanaian. Unfortunately, our country is in bad hands. The Ghanaian economy is in a bad way, but I have not seen a government ready enough to deal with the situation. I call on His Excellency the President to conduct an immediate reshuffle so that this economy will be back to proper hands. I'm saying this not because I'm an opposition MP, but I'm saying this because I'm a Ghanaian first. And I care about the direction this country is going. If the country gets worse, it affects all of us, not only NDC or MPP. It affects all of us. So please, let's get serious here. This is people's pocket. The economy is your livelihood. The economy is your pocket. It's your child's future, and we cannot be toiling with it. This government has shown that they are not ready to govern. And I want to say that if they are not ready, they should hand over the government to some of us that is ready to deal with the situation. We can assure you that if given the opportunity, we'll confront the problem head on and take Ghana back to prosperity. We've done it again before and we'll do it again. What I've seen today is sad. I'm saddened as a Ghanaian because it's a big missed opportunity. Don't be surprised that by the close of today, our bonds in the international market will start getting worse once again, because this piece of paper needs to be flushed in the dustbin immediately. We need to shred it into pieces because it is empty and useless. Thank you.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think my ranking has explained a lot of the concerns that we have with this media review. First of all, I want those of you who have access to the Public Financial Management Act to go and read Section 28 and be abreast with what he was required to come and do. He was required to come and tell us how the budget has performed as at this time, by June, the 6 months. What is the total revenue you have raised? And then give us a table of various revenue yields that led to that total. He is supposed to give us the total expenditures to date, so we know what the deficit is and we know what the primary balance is, but also to tell us the development within the real sector, the banking sector, the capital markets, and all other things that impact our lives. He did not tell us how his budget has performed to date. He basically just went ahead to tell us what he's projecting by the end of the year. That is not the requirement of a media review. The requirement of a media review is that you must tell us budget performance as at date. Now, I want you to take your time and look through his document. The minister tells you that his GDP is not performing, and that the GDP performance is projected to grow at 3.7% from 5.8%. What it means is that we are not doing well. Is that not the case? The minister says that his revenue would decline from 100 billion to 96 billion. Is that not what he said? The minister says that he is providing COLA of 15% on his wage bill, which gives you 4.6 billion. The minister says that his interest payment has gone up from 37 billion to 41 billion. That is an additional almost 3.8 billion. When you put these numbers together, the drop in revenue, which is a shortfall to be filled, the increase in interest payment of about 3.8 billion, the increase in COLA of about 4.6 billion, the minister is adding exactly 12 billion to his expenditure. And yet he tells you that he will still stay within the appropriation. Now you notice that the appropriation, he says it moves from 137 billion to 135 billion. Let's grant that that 2 billion is the 30% he's cutting in expenditure. You will notice that he would have now increased the deficit from the 38 billion he's quoting to about 49 billion if you add the figures that are quoted earlier of about 12 billion, which is about 50 billion. So if you add the 12 billion to his 38, you are getting about 50 billion. Subtract his 2% he's cutting from expenditure, and you are getting a deficit of about 48, 49 billion. So clearly the man was coming to ask for more money. So you notice that the original order paper came by a motion, and that motion was that he was going to request for a supplementary estimate. When he didn't like the mood of the House, he went and brought an addendum to say that he's not coming by a statement because he doesn't need money. But the numbers I'm giving you shows that he is spending close to 12 billion in excess of what we approved earlier. So the original intention is what it is, that the minister is going to spend more than appropriation. Even though he's spending more by appropriation, he says tell you that his deficit will rather decline from 7.4 to 6.6. You know how he did that? He came and then revised the GDP. The GDP that is declining by 5.7 to about 3.7. He revised it to 592 billion from 500 billion. You know why he did that? When you revise the GDP, it means that whatever figure that sits on the GDP, because the GDP is now bigger, that figure will become smaller. So he's able to get a a deficit of 6.6% by artificially cooking a GDP that doesn't exist. You see, when I tell you that that man is a danger to us, you think that it is personal. No serious ethical person will do what he came to do. That you are cooking your numbers, you are adding to the expenditure, your revenues are not performing, your expenditures are going up because your interest payment is more. You are paying more cola. As a matter of fact, your economy is not performing because the GDP is struggling, but artificially you are able to get a higher GDP to suppress the deficit. You are able to cut off all the additional expenditures to suppress the deficit. So Ken Oforiatta is digging the grave to go to jail tomorrow because we will properly audit these numbers. And it will show that today, what he came to do today was what he originally put on the other paper, which was to ask for more money to spend. But he didn't have the confidence to do that. Two, he says the IMF arrived in this country on a particular date and assess our economy. Why? How did the IMF arrive? You invited them. Is that not the case? Is it difficult to tell Ghanaians that we call the IMF to come? He doesn't want to say that. He says that the IMF arrived in this country on what? On what? Is it Article 4 review? Or is it a surveillance visit? It is an emergency call, an SOS call, that they should come and save you because you cannot manage the economy. That is what it is. Now, did you hear anything on your banking and financial sector? Did he tell you anything about your banking and financial sector? Did he tell you anything about the capital markets? As we speak today, just last week, he had maturities of about 4.9 billion. He went on the market, he got only 1.1 billion. I don't know how he's going to pay the balance of almost 3.8 billion Ghana cedis. It is becoming clear that a man who cannot borrow in Ghana, he cannot borrow from abroad, his revenues are not performing, is able to get money to spend a lot of money. Only one thing is happening. The Bank of Ghana is printing money and throwing those monies at the bank, at the government. That is illegal, it's preposterous, and we will do everything to get to the bottom of that matter. But as it is today, nobody listening to the finance minister today will have confidence that the country is going forward. He is still there talking about Ghana cares of Atampa. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? He's been saying it for 3 years now. Even their MPs don't know what is Ghana cares. Were you not here when the majority leader was complaining that even MPs and ministers don't know this Ghana cares? You say enhanced domestic program. What animal is that? They are doing your DSA. You are supposed to be engaging Ghanaians to get us along to develop a program to go to the IMF and have a negotiation. As we speak today, have we heard of any stakeholder engagement? The man is still roaming around and speaking big English. I don't know, today, fortunately, I didn't hear him quote the Bible. But somebody had hinted me that he was late in coming because he was looking for his white captain. And after getting that, he was now looking for verses of the Bible. Today, he didn't get it, so we didn't hear a lot of it. But our country is messed. The capital markets will rattle on account of this. And I'm sure our development partners were shocked that the minister was going to ask for more money in a supplementary estimate. Because he was getting calls to answer those questions, he ran away. But you also heard that he didn't mention the reserves. Did you hear the reserves? Now, today, I want to tell you that reserves that the Bank of Ghana cooked and released last Friday after our press conference is of no consequence. The Minister for Finance said the reserve moved from 9 billion to 3 billion. Is that not it? Have they ever achieved a net international reserve of 9 billion before? It's gross. So if the minister said 9 billion to 3 billion, he was referring to gross international reserves. So the 7.6 billion gross international reserve cooked by the government is in excess of $4.6 billion which doesn't exist in the Bank of Ghana. So ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we will start the debate. But suffice it to me that our country is doomed, and I want to repeat my call on the president to sack Ken Oforiatta if he will not resign voluntarily.
92.3. 92.3. 92.3. Ahoto FM. Ahoto FM. Ahoto FM. Mijola.
Right. Abusia aha Ahoto 92.3. Aha ena Ghana. Kasanso ena Ghana. Funyina 80. This takes us to 22 minutes to the top of the hour. 4 p.m. live on your radio. That was the minority press conference with regards to media budget review. Now in the studios, meanwhile Ibrahim Mumuni Babs and your friend Sanso and Kujo Adupo, the Eastern Regional Secretary of the NDC, and also Atsana say, you have digested the media budget review. And I will share the minority in Candia because one, the other paper now, the coin, not just or request for Sika. But what do you know who say I'm a mood in no and on the addendum and Obeka say is going to stay within, but we share the okay on the other paper no so dia okojisika. And so it's like and I'm passing we go with a media budget review, you know. Me starting with me preliminary way no chere sika ye the man no ya wodi ye the aka any adwuma wa ye any afe no projection ahead. But this time around the or chere the COVID-19, you know, and the Ukraine war, no, went to me a meeting target, and it's like a whole lot. So let me leave it to my big for. But before then, my young kindness.
Question that you have to ask is: how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen? Question that you have to ask is: how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How does it happen?
Adwena ye dibu o man ni ho. Eni so ko IMF ko kire se menim nyansa. Nti mo mwa me na me mu man. Adwena ye dibu o man ni ho. Eni so ko IMF ko kire se menim nyansa. Nti mo mwa me na me mu man.
92.3.
Right. Ebusa Kasimano Adiono na chese no 9 abo. And I would take Ken Oforiatta so thank you kama or see na IMF no arrive here. But omo arrive here. He don't know. Yeah, catch them some no. Those were the comments they came to make. But also when they arrived in the country, omo vi na buy. He na na mo buy. So it's like You ever digested the issues? Mami ma abedrafo me mama kwaba. We got your position, Mike. You know. Yeah, all right. Kujo.
Abusia.
Ghana ni NDC amanyoko no mo ho ate say.
Ghana yare na NDC de wa hoden.
Ghana yare but NDC say NDC wo Ghana.
Eno na Ghana for di omani ato a. Omumu se sebe. Ekom nkum nipa na mo wuti na kese.
Ekom nkum nipa.
Kom de wa obodi ne keto na otie kakra.
Okay.
Eno na Ghana for nda so se na ache. Former President Jerry Efensen JM eba ye ho beto yin. Nti wa unim am say we can see na mene okrefo na celebrate my birthday. My birthday na nkasa den kan na nkasa na me Monday no. Nti chemo of so mpofo ne Pablo mo ba me ye adwumaden ne adwumaso. The Saturday na mkopi abofo ye Ashanti region. Ofenso enu ababra ne na free mu no. Ene chemo of so mpofo ne secretaries ba miensa ekopi ho. Ye ba ye so nyameda Roma je aba isen region to aso mienu. Ba ko ba ye ewo siakwa na nra osamba asori ewa samankase. Nti ye party no ewa hoden a chese dwuma ekoso nyina chese ye mu bia ready se be ya dwuma. Nti party ne ye.
Right, but I say could you aduko na wo etin nka no Babs
Alaska. Say in charge of good for Adam GH akache ma obia
okay
tie we yem say yen so no na see na Ghana Statistical Service edi report by for corruption ho.
Okay.
And them say na Ghana police for na ID kind somewhere no mo dey reference land commission force be shame fimfio baby. Yes you are research bi akonkan a na me adoma the exclusive by next week. Afwa nia Statistical Service for the buy out no mo bi on say no cry.
Okay.
But we need to name and shame people.
We need to name
and shame people.
Right.
So we sanitize institution of state established to serve the public until they cry over can, but they should watch out for those exclusive we are out this year.
But I say Ibrahim Mumuni director of operations the Adams GH ono and outin this takes us to 18 minutes to the top of their 4 p.m. still live on your radio Ahucho 92.3 FM. Okay, my kudo my main phone win shares here media review. Nanka was a basso earlier, but said due to Niama Bakumi and we sent to me and Ken Kutun Kruko for Yata, but yen since the Fourth Republic, we have been seeing a lot of media review budgets. Our mocha and in the home. But then, according to the minority, the Obabaka and the church one cherepe, church nim and now Casimim Bejisica. Now, so on the other paper, no, I just Bejisica. But Oka and Ghana for the but to the people's representative in parliament, the and a whole lot of things. And that's who shall swear Oka say a quambi or maybe for tono as I am. Right. And the good uncle.
You mean I'm a party for a Western region, Anna, Madam Minion Mosse. My birthday do you know? A bush of phone wish me well. And I be do birthday year, now the party no more Gina ye mum. I'm the panel away to me, a celebrating to me, do we are here, wish me well. Media budget near Banner Drive, we need to cracker.
Okay.
Now, Yamia Roma, and Yami was say one of the afternoon best show host, no, a Yabayawo. Because in some way, can had the piano. O can depend on Shadantias, Bawa and Wabe.
That's right.
Many above eco inflation wins some better
sure
or more Adam GH4. Yatia no outro not 23.something% on that.
That's right.
Even things if you cry Kwama, I pay about 19% Nazifono, no more catching. Some other kind of engine on another Roma. Abandon me, you say, in some way can a coso. Kakra me tear free months and coffee, I'm a kind mono.
Okay.
Who say a bar, no? 2021 budget or the buy ye live in some woman.
Sure.
Now expect over 100 billion Ghana cedis obey. You catch on says 100 billion and so Saturn not ye levy 17.5%. Now 17.5%. Not only a tree ya or the bar 1.5%, 1.75 and about 1.5%. Until my 6.9 billion and open. Oh yeah. Into my budget over 100 billion or the buy no etiko from. Now you catch one say and them say what's sank national security and if house na se for no. Ama aban dwuma fo akatua I fund compensations allowances and salaries no. Now about 735 billion Ghana cedis. You be who say Bosia waji bebrenti interest payment any amortization sika na mre na so a say ye tua bond no na ye 45 billion and send a salary payment common fund and na sefo no okamu my 31 billion oka say sika wenku abomu a over 113 billion nti ye busa say you live in the money kura taxes o keka nyina akoye ni enya 100 billion wa sika be da chire no ya about 13 billion obenya wifa who say na go wiare ashem.
That's right.
That's no. Or said that we no in addition of the media budget no or said that it 12.5 billion ekoshemu and no minia adongo ka wasam no aban we omo yare ngwase ka ban yo enim gwasia ka ban no nti kakra me de wesiri no ka wasam.
But I'll say live on the radio, I want on 92.3. Aha, and a Ghana, Kakuju Adupo, and I will attend. So media review budget, I feel now, so as a when no, you can digest it, scrutinize it. Nabi, so I come about.
So I mean, you have Makaya, we still need time to go through.
That's right.
Already, but you say government expenditure, now you can watch them. You call you pass it by a TV. Appropriation equals to a parliament. The expectation say we bet my spend within that appropriation.
That's right.
But already in Nigeria to say na economy agency because so we finance minister na projections are obey calculation are we mu answer na projection anko year. Now when to make your figures esisua you find yourself in this situation already. Like he said, in clearly say we will be getting this point because who a deficit of almost 38 billion. Now, when to me and share quite a bit my feelings are gabo. Now, measures I would buy no in about 2-3 months to come. When to me achieve even a 10% of what you were thinking so with media affiliates are gabo. Now, how can you? And I have always been wondering, say, when to me feeling gabo with the E-levy. Of course, I also work at government expenditure. Yeah, projection almost 3.2 billion. Now we have been told it's also around 2 billion. And to Ukraine, mess I would buy now was around 10 billion. And that 27 billion. How are you going to fill that gap? It's a big hole. And me, I share the magical papa betting up. And I'm not surprised. Say, I'm at least Nicodemusly. Also, the additional 12 B. Now, obviously, it's like coming to beg for money.
That's right.
When indeed. I was saying, can communicate to Ghanaian the health of the economy in respect of bias, the approval into where we have where how far have we come and where we are going. And that's not where we are looking at. But one interesting thing that you imagine is about the fact that okay, I say roads now Mbappe roll out and see, and I think that these roads are part of the 750 million now. You approve more loan for buying support. Now, with Salon, no, we are not told then how do I reconcile this to go? What much I say you are a government that we are against tolling. And Untina against all other man for Naka, see there be motor what to know and what to nothing will happen. In fact, there are some crack out the toilet. And it is there. Would there could something so I can say about rules from this money? No, what's that told you to what extent? And he needs to come out. Say PPP so as a PPP now more fund in the I mean, you also big because we don't know anything about that. All we know is say you have a certain 750 million bar. Who pay you rules? It's not too clear, but like we said, no, it's only this will be studying the document. But clearly to say every step be a name is a bit take it on direction. So that's why I'm happy to say wow. Into our Dubai and say we have to discuss what is it about the resignation. I think it's long overdue, my brother. We share Adam GH. Yeah, discussion be how we are at the time. No push E-levy. Now the approach I will adopt here, and will say it's not possible we are going to meet our target, and so we are calling for say, but yeah, and can step down. Now a fresh way. With fresh ideas out there injecting the economy. people thought we were doing the usual policy, but and the reality is on the wall. It means that we can't have piano and some so Gary the
All right, 10 minutes to the top of their 4 p.m. So live on your radio, I'm on 92.3. Bobs and I will attend in kind of messages in the 0541825106 0541825106. Halidu Sabo Healing Center. Aya yare sabia yedi ha ma ena esa yare eba no huhum akwanje huma hubambo a Halidu Sabo eye number 1 enti bomodi a se obekọ na kachi na bibia nso aye kama edi amount ose yenka nkyira wo se aya wumawuo wonya bamfa nhye wachi waware ache nyama nkoye uba no watena fama che wonantia nya akoyala soap na beboa wo ose se samawa yefra ne TB hypertension awo mu ha be yesem gonorrhea ani fraye diabetes efa na sicho yare afenso syphilis asthma na kokoa obete ne te edi amount fa numbers now ni Professor Halidu Sabo entwetwen komo se sia 0243 409 862 and 0540 670 646 and 0201 223 717 0201 223 717. Professor Halidu Sabo and also the witch hunter. Now, aya lawyer Martin Pebu at the assembly to just say, we can another Danko Kufadoa, or ye, who call the Jubilee House, or part of the criminal syndicate. Now, as some we are the two Jano, a year into a shopper now, but there sorry, Wababa be retracted. And at the very platform, no so no ababontia baba because I drop on Gruma say we have platform like that Joy News. In fact, Omedu Echiri na instance and Komoma Kwan na publish such news. And no BBC say the same Joy News a publish another same platform. Let me quote it that way so they can generalize it. Certain platforms are even as a multimedia and also whatever it is, you know. Kwajo Ponkuma to me could papa no. I on the floor of parliament. Most of the news portals are captured. So what has changed? Now yenti because BBC say when was the last time Obi Kasedi president attempt a crime? Esankuma say Ghana mra entia so Obi di president attempt etia Obakaya Obi di the late news attempt na nim say abu mean to me can Esakuma bomu bonsam de manipano Professor Doolittle and in the kika home. So we ask him, say, what is different from Nanado? No be chire na adwen a ono ye nipa ten oni a wa chire na adwen a almost any de nya bone na yentie nia Martin Kwebu ekaye.
Before we go beyond the survey, the first thing is I think so far we haven't, the president probably hasn't heard. Maybe we need to repeat it for you to hear that he's part of the criminal syndicate at the Jubilee House. The president is certainly part. Look, all this corruption cannot happen without the president's involvement. Look, you know, even Manasseh did this thing about Zoom Lion, the spraying. When schools were being shut down, you know, the time of the corona, this virus, the pandemic broke, schools were being closed and we're going to come back after 3 months. What was the need for the spraying? You follow Manasseh's story, it lands on the president's desk. Other story, EDS. So the president, we have to say with all the energy we can master that he's part of that criminal syndicate. And that, look, we will not take this from him. He has to just step down. He has to step. The president is not interested in any process because in opposition, he said he will use the ANAS principle. When the president was coming to office, and that's why I voted for him, okay, with alacrity. He said he was going to use the ANAS principle. He wasn't going to use this adversarial system. No, ANAS principle. And what's the ANAS principle? Private investigation.
Right. And you went of course our news file. And once what can I say president say obey you to announce principle. My NTA president.
Yeah, thank you very much. You have specifically mentioned corruption within the taxation system. What exactly will you do to stamp this out?
The measures are going to be difficult, but there have to be a variety of them. including what I call the ANAS principle, setting up highly motivated professional groups of young people who will work, if you like, as it were, undercover to unearth examples of corruption wherever they can find it, and thereby allow the authority to deal with the issue. Because not only do you unearth the corruption, but you actually deal with it in terms of sending people to court, prosecuting them. Hopefully, the courts will cooperate and make sure that the offenders are found guilty and sanctions appropriately enforced. So a variety of measures, but a key one is the ANAS principle, as well as, of course, what you do to securize those who are in the tax collecting agencies.
Right. Akasima 9 na no 9 abo. And when you sama okay obey you ANAS principle. Kai say ANAS principle eno na dia madsuale ekosa me chiri. Kudo my uncle Martin Kwebusa president I a part of the criminal syndicate ewo the Jubilee House. Kai say Martin Alamisa Midu so a mother serpent of corruption. A whole lot. And then Martin Kwebu aba retract the media house and also as almost a kwajo upon Kruma say I am ya say that platform no Oma allow themselves no my dear president at them. What do you call?
Yominia 92.3 nipa no kan na asem na twa san ba ye beka asem no.
That's right.
Tete na yesusua no
baby how do you feel no
na ye di agro yesa nti ubekọ voter region anwumre bi du a na yesa agbaja na nye seksa ke na yesa ni ya decision ya pomu.
Okay.
Nti ye du ba bi nso a ya bocha skele na mfifi ate yen ukofia so nware ni afoso no adware na pilolo ni enenam ni etu mika saa na bosumi ni yiriti a ni ya chika atrase ni ato anansem suso kokwa nansensem.
Okay.
Nti enam ni kokwa nansen na beka masam ne nti won wa amuso akọ school na amuso philosophy no ye wakwan mienu a yetimi kan asam ye wusasem aka ye no kore ba ko amu fe no philosophical analysis no and all can all the fact and figures could you free her or your regional secretary Monday or Bahuto or Baofaha Baku de Ocean Kasa a brand or Tako FM. Now, Yasi or do position be where Eastern region or my party be. Now, Bano Betra, they be your can answer more if you're children or deba.
Okay.
Mommy, the fact, Mary, but you say you could have nti anu na ndem de be analysis ne kwaku ananse na owo yiri a ye fe na kono ya e na owo emma mako nan baako the last born ye fe ni ntakuma ene ye wa fi de hwe etigirengire ene na nkohwe a ne nansusa na kwaku ananse ade ye se e wo se ojiwi asinyansa nyina gu ohinamu na ode ko sensoro na ni wefi so si ni ba last born sha adwe da ni timi yeketwa ti ojane de ma no na ofudua na no de ahina no asan nanim ofo akufuru mienu anye ye no ina ntekuma akura ketwa no e ka kire ni se da unyi ni se odi san wache be yi odi san na chi a ye ya pe ina according to sa character no nyansa nyina ba yintim enti se obenya o tape bi a enne be bi o man na du no nkwala nketewa na etu na kufarofo enti ubehwe sa character na meka was no na ye ntekuma because mpanifo aka ye ntie enti ntekuma na eso tuga na fofo na otu na kufarofo say baby a wodi o man ne kono nye dada nyansa wodi agu mo soro no enye ye gisa de tuchi enso na dwen yesi watwe nyansa nyina wie.
Okay.
Currently, I know that Ghana's economy is not doing well or is not thriving because drastically prices of goods and services in the country have increased. At school, at my canteen, a little piece of samosa that used to go for 50 pesos has now shot up to 2 cedis. So my advice to the government is that they should be able to appoint competent people to state institutions, people who have skills relevant to the positions they are being given, people who have Ghana at heart. And also the government should make sure that laws and state institutions in the country work freely without any interference. And the president himself should make sure that the laws punish any corrupt practices in the country.
Right. And when in the Gumano.
Intibinia. Okono ya na oye maame no. Ena ya magana.
Okay.
Inti Ghana ya oba. Nipa na owo mu na ye fere kokua nanse no. Ono ye papa na ne ma ayemi kan wasemi. Inti Ghana ye papa ne na kufu ado.
Okay.
Ono ya nanse no. Now if you should na anko hwe ani tikende no. Omo no ye nipa bi a omo so ya wo ye Ghana se nyina wa no. Na mpanifo ka asem bi se ukokuro mu na nkola power bo a na mpanifo ta akiri. Nkola sha se omo twetwe ntoma to abo musio bo na odo nsaka kola finish. Is mpanifo bi ta na chi. Na sabe buo no mu na omo se ukodo se okoto se nkola de o sekan Ghana nka ya ka na nkwarefo a uka hu bi. Eno na minu akpegu koka ya ya na twa san no. Na me de be ka kire wo. They in the sea were PDS. Na Kufuado at the first house. We kokua nansi no ye na djuma. Ba woni se kokua nansi tokosia. Chairman ne man ne yire mu nyina no mo ye 5. O wie no sinte kuma so matokosia bra o amam bi. No atwa half no de kokua nansi. Etigre no atwa half no man bi. Sa nti o wie no na ne man ne yire mu nyina nya 2.5. No no nko atide mo nya 2.5. Na je se sa character no eya adwen a de bi o mane nkwala ne ye nnema. It is a buko ba bi ente kuma fu de jeje ase fo no ko ba bi no mu so bi bo ofre aso a no mo ba ko afo no tiku from na nipa na bo fe ne dia na ba na ya nko hwi asesa bo fe no no de dia mika no de kofie na kokwa nanse agidi agufie no madi saa no ye saa ne ma no enti kwakwa ente kuma no ina ye Ghana fo mrantie mabu. And they know who say from 18 years to 35 years, no, everybody is complaining. So, Babu Koye, Yanuni and Takuma, and never try a castle to crash and Kufuado. The na Kufuado Kofa PDS by. And Mrana Wahono, actually say, just a wood shares ba near Jacob, Cotua Benfutium, and say the amount. The na Kufuado Kaho, one fancy gun Yananka, one company for Mupian Colasam Cotua. But you PDS no na shares bia fa bia nkofo badi omo gin 8 months bill sikana fine ayirai yet your man His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Kofa Mary at the buy if you no do ya be diaro na ya pia na nko hia to say wache or say wache jako oyende kuma mani bia o ini ya pia ni gina mu ino ye deal sa ye che ne pe na kwakwa nansi oyi ni ma he ni ye pamo afudishoreshe wache jako and the otifie yet was an you say yet told them wa brochire afisa say no na ye $3.9 million after the baby ye go to $12.5 million and yes sabe okujeta bra kwa money in crop for na chi won wa na nke ma me foreign minister etigire ngre na nka watomadi ya chi ne pe no ja yoro ko pe bitran na owie no nya sika na hwan no de kwa koma no kwakwa na nsia wache kosiama de ma na obi ade ne half akoma papa no saa bia sem na mekan then in the sea galam say yet gana han ya sea galam say operation galam stop then the sea yet excavators na nko hia etigrengre ama finpom watin be yes ah excavators na 500 ya ni ba ehun so no ni ya to ma mpanimfuo bi kwakwa na nsifo na gini nyina fro nsam and na galam say na yan turu small scale mining no and na MPP for na etu in the regional chairman or your chairman of all chairmen our eastern region or contest no lose because what galam say that from nsam don bodu or your tigengere ya ko hia or ko yes adwuma ni bi discan be good party ni de ba kokwa na nse ya body charge no yes o mu ade otu galam say ya tu no wa betre fie sansem we bia koso wo manyimu am ya chi won fertilizer Yes, you ton. Yakwaji cocoa loan, syndicated loan, and the abasi de mekuafo. Na ya ton fertilizer no. Na ye ni Dr. Kuto say, abekya ka kire Ghana for say, body grow aye 4 cities. Oh yes, sense ka no gi ni nyina no. O de come cocoa na se ne papa. Yet your memory ya, ema cocoa na se ne mama no. Epia bontin. Eko gi ka bi free bank say be yaduma. E fa na fai. Cocoa na se kro na ne yiri akono ya. Ansu ko se onu so ye NGO. No ko sika. Every Ghana gas. Any na sefo eni ye pia won e na ye. Yo mamu he ya. Yesi. Kwanya Rollins JM. Ah, another inter Rollins dia ba minim sa. Professor Amos 10 years no. Ye kai won. JM. Eye kwan kokon no su ye no. Ye kukuru over $10 million. Emma African Legal Consult. Aye ni garbage rako. E ka law firm no. Influence yani ye dimi ga say ya overpriced rose no. Say sika ko yirai. Ye ti ha ye promo auditor general. Adentia crow $6 million. After some minister things say ye mani ko patch us up pam ni free mu. Kokua na nsensam yi bi na meka kire no. Ne mana wo wona no mo ye bone a no mo de abre no saa ni mani bi na meka ne bi ni senior minister crow asam no. Minia, yet me got to saw the say, yes, see, hospitals, Maku 110. Sikana be gum, ya hospital Makukura, 92.3. And as a man of said, Manavi. It's young, say, Kokwana and Nankasa Toko, Siama de Mano, or said them when Yabiana, Onyabi. Abuzia, you bet me a bosu, Sika Ira. Yet your man 52 billion Bank of Ghana. Now it's Senior Minister for Finance. You busena or see you and China back to yourself from Musicano, Sika Hifa. Minuka say, you can give railway Sika, see a railways. Speed 1 train. Over $500 million. You did buy and said, ne, and I must see injury. Pokwa se kwa ne kono wa se ne na afro mba be ye dia kokwa nansi wagele she anu na o kan wie pe na be nsem bebre na ye de okọ me de kokwa nansi asem na beka o ka se mre bi sun ya na 31st asofo bi she nkom that's right am ye say wa be she nko be che onu osofo ba ko di kuro bi so de ka na asem ba asem ne koy nti enam nim kokwa nansi na beka ma asem because nipa no ka na asem kura wa twa san ba asem ne de atwemu tan ye beka che Ghana fo. Yet your man national chairman bako ekofa baby about chairman $11 million. Onukura de afudushiri ne tigire no o se onkakra. Say all the top bosses in the money party for sika ne kosi hi. Eko obi adi. Minia seno hydro ekopie hi. Seno hydro nyambe pie ya ton atiwa forest boss site no. Ni ati company GFA boss we not the same cause in Yantechi yan fa nka ho Anthony Cabo yan fa nka ho Canadian Japan yan fa nka ho no de Casentino ya nyi se anye ni se yo be ha dwen kokwa nanse mano sei no mu ye adwuma no mu ye adwuma ni nyina wi a e benefit kokwa nanse kokwa nanse adwen ye ni se o pe position na che enti wa toni papa ja pade nyina enti ekwa afaso obetumi anya bi adi ni se onka busuam mbom no mu ni digarafo ho eno ina pegu kan ya eno watwa sen
kwakwa nanse be ho asem na
kwakwa nanse asem na mekan
kwakwa do
me see okono ya aye Ghana enti kuma aye Ghana fo mnantie te se mi na meka bi ena wonwo na omo make Ghana no ena yesef de shode tigengrefo no and the ministry be a collapse. Na mi de say mi nia Canada Japan papa e ka che Ghana for say assemble na mi ko ka che Ghana for IMF nti ya nya mi nwa self dey do baby here no e was say kokwa nansi e di na busuafo nko akọji position no na sika ba ya ma obi adi enti ni yiri oni na wo ba ko ajai no ya na Mazda to Czech Republic ne baba no not ne ko creative art ni mami Adele Kufuado ni nua be ma ni John Soforiata no ye Minister of Finance ye ni atachia no na bewuram ona bo mo akota ni krom rose nko na ye no na bewuram na ebisi da eyomo sunu no emre pa grant no wo sika makane hada no wo sika no sika ndi businessman ekukuru sika edima doctor JB Dankwa oji sika ne pe no se o ye de ase ano no abusuan chemfa no fa na kunta Justice Edward Kufuado no fa ninia ne ba William Foliata owie no kofa lawyer woni ne ya adwuma oni Chambers akwajeyi owie se ya fi se ne awie na me pe obi na ne ya den ne kofa obechebi gafuma kwe yede ne beka ho na nipa 5 no mu blockage no enti ya fa busuan kamom ne ya nidie kokua nanse ne ma sa no mte ehyi enti asema amini ya ne ka kire Ghana for say si ye pekro no bopa dia ye kokua nanse fie na no na ye pani a oho gye sa ne ma na no nti ba on pesa mes wali tuni nti no enu nti no ka otwa san no na nki ye kase obi kase tia president ye ntwen san dia nka professor Amesi dia nkom nani ni obi ti bi gira bontin ka se o te se kraman ba sabe obi gira bontin ka che mahama se ne ba wanya 18 years kura se bosia na di bu o man dia nko betumi bu o man it is an the corner ntu ba hia Baumia or say my university ma say Abu Ramadan beje no de amano no de amana konta nadmo some man for so say sa president ayedia and ya mesu me mamienu me fa akunko state na me fa nko akunko ha etuti mu say kwaku anansi suban na ne adi bu o man ani o mani guase ne hwede atu papa ine eni guase na to poto kan semwa sebe akola kura betime ka wanim kanye titirina bebo obi wo se akola ni pani di asemwa pani ni fo na we de sam pani fo de ma di fo impani fo ye di fo minia etiminia babu asemwa ka hen udika no kure o man na tete apansam o man ni nkoyie ba ka ho asemwa ba hwe ya na asemwa tuntia ba yenya ka se ye beka ne de ye beka na Ghana fo huwa ma na nkola na 11 years in etu yamfo say hwenwiye na nyesa akamati amedu odo ni 9C NDC ya adwen ya man special prosecutor o si na minim se so kromfutachi amwa bi si wo Ghana house kokwa nanse Minia babs ntwaso
right live on the radio I want 92.3 Kujo Adupo and outing. This takes us to 13 minutes into 4 p.m. So for now, can I say
chose, like King Ahab, has turned his heart from God for material blessings. He has turned his heart from God and has sold the destiny of the nation. So the president of Ghana will be one of the presidents that will walk away from the state house with a lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. A lot of shame and a lot of anger from the court of heaven. And as long as God lives, unless if he will repent and change some of the steps he has already taken to put the nations into the jaws of the enemy to eat. But if not, starting with him to his descendants, no one will ever rise up from his family into state house or into prominence. Even his party, as he leaves the office, it will take them many decades. Not that the opposition will come into power 2 terms and they will come back. It will take them many decades to return, because the nation of Ghana is one of the beloved of God. But as it is now, there is an exchange in the realm of the spirit. So even the nation of Ghana next year, 2022, there will be a lot of chaos in the name of demonstration, in the name of strike. There will be a lot of judgment on the nation. People will be dying anyhow. When it rains, the rain will rain with judgment.
2.3 FM.
Right, 14 minutes into 4 p.m. Still live on your radio. I want on 92.3. Imasquan Estate Ghana Limited. Yejumanku ayeton sase. Yen sase no so de ye pa. Ebana Polonia your site MB. Yes, a gated estate. Estate land community of Emmanuel City. Yawa Lashibi Chopoli, Dodoa, Agoto, Ivan, Shula City, the Wenya, your Central University in Portamo, and an Ingo Pram. And she say, I walk and say, when I say, Otoa, Utia 60%, na 40%, you know, with the 6 months, and na Ebetua. Your estate, Adanya, yes, a tom, about 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, and a 5-bedroom houses, and also, yes, 1 full plot to so a tom. Story buildings are year 20, Sabrosan, yes, a ton, 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, and a 6 bedrooms, a year 2 plots so and a yes, year at tom. Your office location in your Sprinters Road, come to 18 Junction, any Allied Oil Filling Station, I want cry her and I didn't share him. When you enter come I was 0546 596 773 0546 596 773. In Masquan, or see your satisfaction, our priority. Na Bibianso and Yakamapa. Martin, Lawyer Martin, Pebunism or kind of about some brand.
Before we go beyond the survey, the first thing is I think so far we haven't, the president probably hasn't heard. Maybe we need to repeat it more forceful for you to hear that he's part of the criminal syndicate at the Jubilee House. The president is certainly part. Look, all this corruption cannot happen without the president's involvement. Look, you know, even Manasseh did this thing about Zoom Lion, the spraying. When schools were being shut down, you know, the time of the corona, this virus, the pandemic, schools were being closed.
All right, and she, Ninsama, okay, yeah, go.
Alaska.
Yes, sir.
Maybe kind of in charge of Basama with you for. I think say Lawyer Martin Pebu.
That's right.
It didn't speak for himself. Or you're not just in lawyer, or a senior lawyer at that.
Okay.
In fact, or a landmark case be in connection with being like a man who be a Yachinako police station. Say on call beyond for the 48-hour mark. No. So then some cases are bailable and those that are not bailable in on no court now or clarify that authority in as law students pursue on your small lawyer. Now share platform no kasa osuna. He went on that platform as a legal rep on that platform. To what you say. In Nintia and Casano, a mixed reaction to make a declaration, a bold declaration, say, as you may see, or you're part of a criminal syndicate.
Very huge way.
A strong word. And as a law student, I mean, I think, say, to come back and withdraw is a reason. I have followed commentaries.
Was he under duress?
Well, he was very emotive at the time, and I'll come to that part. But for now, my player in me and say, I think say a person expressing in a way, no be able to say and there's a need for urgent action.
Okay.
But in the process, of making statements, what to on only personality, and media and can say
okay.
Because to make that declaration, say, as soon as a criminal, and that will be a better a syndicate. We know the person one has to go through to make that. In fact, what can I say? Issues of Achibota Forest, by OSPD court, Nancy, out of
that's right.
The judge was drawing the OSP's attention, say, and come back under Section 54 of the OSP Act, which mandates say, Nipada Yakan was and they knew
that's right.
But so more the bit a confiscation order instead of freezing order because under law, you're a very basic principle all the authority pattern. Say, oh, that's only between the anymore. Nipana say, or see a man also crying.
That's right.
Also can't saying naturally to allow the judge to listen to both parties and judge. And that's 19 of the 1992 Constitution. The element of fair trial is there. 17 for 17% near judge. You'll see a more as into the moment you make that thing say, you're part of a criminal, very powerful. And I think that's why he's come back. We share the casa, the substance of the point which you say. Never be Koswa as a president, what to approach before being a president as a watiada.
Okay.
And into Emma and Crawford, say he's becoming like a complicit of those actions and answer of Russell or a enabler of that. Into Sana as an can I see open your nanka or Shem Kolaiman and Kayaka or count somewhere the Nasa proverb in your kind every people, but or can sound problems that it may have generated the kind of uproar I do to say.
Okay.
So a language but we share the principles now. I think the president has a lot of work. Look, Tabarana Obo in the speech I nearly wept too.
You mean this one?
Yeah, yes. Thank you very much. You have specifically mentioned corruption within the taxation system. What exactly will you do to stamp this out?
The measures are going to be difficult, but there have to be a variety of them. Including what I call the ANAS principle, setting up highly motivated professional groups of young people who will work, if you like, as it were, undercover to unearth examples of corruption wherever they can find it, and thereby allow the authority to deal with the issue. Because not only do you unearth the corruption, but you will actually deal with it in terms of sending people to court, prosecuting them. Hopefully, the courts will cooperate and make sure that the offenders are found guilty and sanctions appropriately enforced. So a variety of measures, but a key one is the ANAS principle, as well as, of course, what you do to securize those who are in the tax collecting agencies.
Right. So Alaska, clearly, Papa Noah say, or better, or young and energetic men, or bet me at Trinomu, no, or my deploy or investigative acumen through undercover.
That's right.
Now, the information say about. I'm not sure, Sasama Yekai. Yes, even though Anas a headline, I mean, name a bit mapper, but Obi Sam Manas Azuri. I'm not sure Nejuman is quite different from what I have say. Anas say. But what has happened so far? If your country, not before a presidency, what declare a principle, that principle now declare Nipa on basis come from the state.
That's
on
right.
one resources no they to give you information on how to battle. Utimi encourage you party person. Eshen kutupa esponsor say onkoye counter.
That's right.
On what you declare as who watches the watchman. Look, do you know there's a video in circulation where Honorable Kennedy Japan can say, Sir watches the watchman. It was that project was solidly supported from the Platinum House.
Exactly.
The evidence there.
That's right.
And to me, if I hear that, you don't expect me to be happy. As about the argument they grow. Because look, one of the reasons His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo winning a battle. It was that is zeal. Enemy some cover corruption and how to fight into the extent only age I will do that. Oh yes, can you? And we're going to fight corruption. And look, and we will be a governance the cheaper. Now who send corruption in the developing country. Of course, every lady on the back of that crowd will be supporting. But today, what are we seeing? We are seeing contrary to Nya Okachire. And it is only Martin Bebu or a series of events I could with an action with the sinner over now we say country. In fact, I say Omukrana who support to Omukrana and we bufu and a man a yes statement say Ebia Okamu, but we are saying say but a substance of this comment there, all of us support it. Alaska, look, we are in a country. Last week the Joy released this statement where information be say the former deputy minister of Upper West and the deputy minister of water resources and sanitation and only company and contract under plan for food and jobs perform 1 million akemua and you are want to supply say the ministry any my arrangement on better meet to canoe kakra sika would be one time. I went to before who do arrangement say on what grounds It was a public knowledge. There is this development authority contract of 5 million beer. See a free suno. Neobe fans a brotu ko 10.something million. Our macho Semako Flagstaff House. 6 months, no response. What do you want him to say? Meanwhile, they are all over. They are also moving from Yama from I'ma activate the RTI law scene now. There's no response. And it's me, I won't sit there and say the substance of my baby comments, and yet I will say a support to. Usha, where's our new issue? So one boy, that's right. Matsamidu. Such statement, no, statement to call the president as a mother serpent for corruption.
Not just a crofun, you know.
Do you understand what you're talking about?
Then, Kujaduko statement, Nasidia, not just an answer, no, 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 Akronfo, no, no, brainy be. Because until do you know, Gabriel Shuda, when they were calling for reshuffle, but they are about to move. I see reshuffle now, Mokano, and change and stop Ukraine Russia war.
And that power exclusively is to the president to hire and fire.
That's right.
Time of Piano. I mean, you can't make that statement. Me, I said, I'm no palm of the level. I see us now back together. I said, Debbie, wait the president at the back. Papa, a Juma already never be Ghana. President, you'll be a papa or a truth in the way to fight corruption. Nobody else should not be home. I'm a one professor, Jima as I say, some emphatic statement be saying, and etc. is a minimum, in fact, to fight corruption, and you only say, Imani vice president,
Bright Simmons,
Bakuya, also, no one says, you know, they were Omka, now Omo, vocal against the past president. Last time we see in the comment, also almost from. Also, a shock say, this is not another they were the company for. Who shall occupy Ghana? Time on no more call Flagstaff House. A lawyer will be a CIS, I say, of what's it at me. Also,
Sankuma.
I heard him clearly. Also, he works like a bull.
That's right.
And only to me as a bull now, 24/7, not doing so. And the way I did. Is he no longer working as a bull? Oh, until the West Anua, now say, if you me, you what baby wants to tell parents say, corruption fight to do. As he said, 92.3. He has lost the fight against corruption because and there, now any pain or show or here be in Beshe. No, I try you. It has become an institutionalized be a coso until we catch and say. So obetimi ama Ghana for your confidence when you dia your pancho at the back. All shall speak the government is long overdue. All shuffle say obi oti bebiano say on benefit. You should reshuffle them. Because it's becoming one too many. What's Yakunya Bakosu for almost 4 and something years. Once results done a second education that and there. One communicator, let me tell you, also food crisis SSS is not about money, it's about supply chain. Last week, Omko said 340 million supplies came. And if the supply of only 6 months, beyond 6 months, don't 3. So you're panicking. We have budgeted for 2.3 million only for free SSS. Now 2.3 billion for free SSS. Now we need to add 340 million out of that 2.3 billion. Where is our country heading to? Auto FM. Yes, he has withdrawn. But the substance of the statement through government say baby levels of interplanetary. If people like professional people like Martin can now lose control and go that way, then imagine the ordinary Ghanaian where we'll be getting to. It's getting bad and the government should sit up.
Right, live on the radio, I want to 92.3. And Ghana, Kasanso, and Ghana T. Now, 29 minutes into 4 p.m. My bisa question a general. It seems to say one MPP, and now when they were in opposition, and then no more power, no. I want to meet the attempt anomu to me eye name calling to me kasa eye kasempwi etiobi eye normal. But when the same dose and not the same words were said to them and not against them, no, you see a crime. So we're asking, say, between party and nation today, aboa, any near nation today, aketiwiano, and muhina pa ne ye nipa ya kana samanka was a cano. No, this is a question because it is like, let us speak to power. TSA deal with family, T Nanado.
This name calling and insulting seems to be a feature of Ghanaian public life, which is. But sometimes one would hope that when things come out, people would comment on that. The comment made by my opponent, Achim Sakawa people, I've not heard any public figure in this country, independent, yourselves or anybody, comment on it. It's completely unacceptable. If I was to get up to make a comment about Northerners or Munchas, you can imagine the uproar that will be in the country. Presidential candidate, a former president of Ghana, you can call a group of Ghanaians Sakawa people, and it involves the group for which the sitting president comes, and that comment goes without, that statement goes without comment. And at the same time, we hear these statements. Let's all try and bring the politics of insults to an end, etc., etc. Occasions are given where specific comments can be made. Nothing happens. And then it's lost. It's lost in the generalities. We need to focus on this matter in an even-handed way. I get the impression that because of the unfortunate, in some ways, authoritarian origins of our state in its area, where it was considered dangerous to criticize government. The pendulum has now swung the other way, where government is the only group you can criticize. If you criticize government, no matter what you say, is legitimate.
Right. And I see the former president, I see Achim Sakawa. Once asino into okosia asofo eya ne yasa asofo na fa nkwa sorry dem anko preach ambojo mahamechi sentie the second gentleman
President who divides us. We want a president who unites us. And so the recent utterances of John Mahama referring to Achim Sakawa boys. Achim Sakawa, how do you take a whole tribe and say they are Sakawa? How do you do that? And my message to John Mahama is that you cannot win this presidency with tribalism. Ghana has gone beyond tribalism. Come and show your
right, and coming forward, mabo ne yirin su Samira onu su ka che John Mahama say onu no oye incompetent and incompetent or redraw ne and redraw chana. Every appointee of the president, they represent the president. President appointee be as someone back and nanado enuma self no muka. We saw an appointee they were made time and you kept quiet.
One interesting thing is this. When you say when somebody incompetent tag name John Mahama. Now I thought it was just a political lexicon, say language be idea about politics. Until say insult.
Oh, sir.
No, until the same was used on the Minister of Agriculture. Massa, the way the man reacted, I said, hey, so that word you were using, so what's the result? So you see the hypocrisy.
Yes, look, a lot of allegations has been made against you by the former MP for Kwada, so Madam Hidalgo. And one thing she has been saying is that you are incompetent, and as a result, the people in the constituency have called it.
That's very disrespectful, you know, the word incompetent. And I don't want you to use that word on me. If she's crazy to use those words, I don't want you to repeat it on me. You know that that's very offensive. So please, let's stop this conversation. I don't want you to be talking to me in this time. You know who I am. You know what I repeated in this life of mine for journalists like you to tell me that I'm incompetent.
Oh, no. Please, I'm not referring to you.
If you're repeating somebody's words, it's your words as well. It shouldn't be that insubordinate. Come on, I mean politics, but you can't take advantage of that to be disrespectful to me. If some stupid woman is making those kinds of, using those words, offensive words, and she doesn't even realize that they are offensive and abusive, then you repeat it on me directly. I'm trying to put you right. I don't know how old you are, but my son will be older than you. You understand? You're the owner of your station. It doesn't come anywhere near my standard in terms of life's achievement. So you have to learn to be respectful. Don't use those words on me, please.
I hear the incompetent one says he wants to come back. The incompetent one says, here the incompetent one says he wants to come back. He wants to come and do more damage. As if he didn't do enough damage. Well, we are waiting for him.
Right. And we say a house of records. And
so Alaska. So if UTS comments you say minister need to say the blue fama where safely no kramasa obeso ministerial as like and same pattern.
That's right.
And yet look at how comfortably the vice president is using the word.
That's right.
So I say, until me I go through say then is it that in Ghana the insult no one part of Ghanaians and other part they already yanko.
That's right.
Look, what we lack in this is principle in politics. Sir Anka or Minister of Agriculture and I'm continue using one word, it's a Debbie. Even though you politics. Now so word we are using your former president Mama there, he would have had my respect. Why he lost my respect is a means only before comes and before come. So it means say now former president now you are aware and you feel say it was an insult to much about that for me no and then say hypocrisy say you free politics. Look, and then Obia will say word no and no more no. Incompetent. So
that's right.
Because the ordinary Ghanaian no ground no panye is here. Almost I just say obia bebe obia choice anka 4 years beso anka be how the omuko no biamba. When an economy gets that level we people say dey we embe concert party. Intermediate na make share ye mpeni ponu say musi principle no enye enye b. At the time na start tweet today by the tweet originally came from Honorable Adongo.
That's right.
And you don't have did my only a commentary on what Adongo has tweeted. But I don't know why no one person attack Honorable Adongo, but rather choose to for political experience on he only commented on what somebody has tweeted. But the fact is that at the time no share clergy ni Bisan Adam say clergy no moral societies no advice every now and then. Catholic Bishop Conference for penny for advice on economy. Who can say market?
That's right.
You remember?
Exactly.
Conference no say economy nko ye. Tro advice to government. Who can say Gabit Sibi no tweet say or no market. Now when you do that to obi who say anka almost someone for dream brembe amamu nko ye. Na onu kan say for nye adwuma. Afa ye tubo na ofre na. Who person your day? Be defending who, but what the more advice hypocrisy is what is taking over this country. That is the government there. But you can't use propaganda to govern. The Biana Mikasa. Who say a human a man for a Judia, Manukun baby, and I'm sure people will follow.
Right. Babs, now turning Kano.
I deny you do a mine in you. And it's all IMF, what let's say, Minun answer, into one of the mind.
Right. But I say, I can't buy yes, you made your new balcony. Na no numa abo high sense refrigerator and freezer promo na the okanya na say 25th July 2022 up to 5th August year 2022 high sense edi akradie bi eba osi uto adie bi awo mo ho a yete so edi ma fufule abode me mame abokai 5-year default across the country koje electrical gadgets bi na bibia so ye kama. Now, especially the refrigerator and freezers, no promo no more de papa. Energy efficient, very durable, elegant designs and have an enhanced cooling effect. Me pa chabe boa pa numukula munsuo na nipa nso yome friend number 0302 550000 055000. High sense offering everyday prices for everyday people. Kudo. Ma yan show
kame kan we ni bisu kakra say am say time na so an say
na wo de kakra na what if you
unia se me no kasa na me kasa me nya kromfo a invariably na je so kromfo
that
ya ye kasa organ ha no ye wo potofo ene accountfo ba ye wo bebuo bi say enimguase mfata okan ni na wana enimguase fata no e je se poto ni ye wo maimu ha ama na kufu ado ka kire say ye ya accountfo de nti wamu na omo de omo nya accountfo nti ko masem ye wo maimu 1979 Emra Victor Wusu eye presidential candidate man na kufu ado mo party no oko voter register so mo nto obama no omo ka so mo mpre no ka je say votarians are like power. Na we di obi aka asem na mahama kotu se na menua babse ka no o fra sofo say o meka mi ma you are memu ada power mo twankrofo na ba omi na kese kwa begina o ka say mo nto obama Kristo ni na mo nto obama Muslim na se de be ye ne yeso ina be fa Quran won ka do omayimu
that's right
da be na sa de me ba ya yehu kremoni ni yehu bebe ni e fe say asantini adai
kwabra je Japan say finance minister on ferry now nim ferry 2 weeks ago be okatira won say looking at Ghana measures or they tutu na kwem said with your resources yanko IMF ne enko china after 2 weeks ena oko IMF inti sanka on ferry na nyam PP party no person say na honorably I was sanka or resign kudo 2 minutes now we see yanko
papa no ferry ya anka media tu ni kura esa nko trefi
oh no but na no uhwe ni poster o siniti aso
na no nya ready
o say
no onya ready
minya doctor
doctor senesu go na US nti e bi nti anu no yesa hwe o feri ya ka dia tu ni nei na sabi ni pani se ko twamansa udi mirika mabu na afro ko tu say alaji yi ni hu afro udwane uko ya go to parliamentarians but no original show mani mu ape na o statement asesa ba uko wiye no na watwekro no nawram enti ga go Japan nsem o ka kire papa we no sanko betia enka be yama no
Aruto FM
na anyo no nko no ka kire no na santin hire so di ka kire on say mudie minimu dada Ghana for dia nibire ni kom na tu abama tu abetia John Dramani mama say kam impuntunjuma ne niema nko ade a eni anka omuntu abantia no nti hu ba yuru mi nimu no ya dwuma da nti ameye Minister of Finance nti na anya no wanwa say omuji ba omudi ba omi asi nchen no mko fa South Africa company makanzi e for no me budget mai enu kure South Africa company makanzi omu no me budget omu economic way nyina omu no me no me bra betugwa enu ntina ba omia ba yo be bo di say omu no me economic mazaya one for the yanka because only so abon to go di anka ho de say ka bo di ka bo di first because only chairman for the committee Alan Chiramatin 1 ori ani wura fi ko say yapam dada
Look at the economic management team. It is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Maf. What a solid team. In fact, can anyone remember the NDC economic management team? I am sure.
Right. Nankasa kwa mboni di.
Mimia. Mboni di. Na say okay 1 2 3 ah. You born one answer.
That's right.
Any in a hierarchy of power no. You born chairman, vice chairman, secretary, deputy secretary. Now the office who also your chairman for the committee. One morning. One bon papa.
92.3. Kudo, I
say finance minister. San woni ni wa di empire si ahunya. Ontie de ko Japan ka kire no.
Right. I say Babs fakakraka ona fe yemcha ye ho komra.
Alaska on say afa finance minister no resignation principle. On say onye principal leader.
Okay.
Okay say somewhere in 2015 your papa Dr. Kwamna Donko
That's right. Power minister.
Yes. On my timelines be episode.
So when to be so doom so.
One time. One come be. And Ukrompo na. I don't know if he should have taken his time because he was almost there. But of course, once I gave that timeline, we call the principle important. And I don't know come now. But because all over the world, in the world of politics and leadership, piano, I don't know which national. Financial, but just in relation. When you say the finance minister Baku FM Zunak and help the defense Sajid, they resign because of appointing one BFN pincher as said on deputy chief whip. But nature was I say, sir, guy here appointed as deputy chief whip, no, or a case of misconduct against previously say in some years in Sabrobia or Cobrubia di and we say by Sabrona one and some year na was appointed there and the way you try sign. Nipon only buy as substantive finance as a how 2 days after Onoya appointing no look at the president must resign for appointing this principle. Right. It's about stomach. And for me, Prime Minister is long overdue. On corner Obimbe show. No is a bit my SCC financial sector no economy there. Let us say I wish you Kasiwa Makuma could do 9 na I just said no abokai say reach out for some yekan oko Gabia Saroja or Chiridaku tweet or see reach out for na mo kano and no and the Bema Russia Ukraine war nebija COVID-19 and the Bema to us here and to reach out for now mo can is neither here nor there. You have Alaska the Don the king of the me come what you did in Kratwa but me ba mo message back me nubi na fe me be line no e dia tum e dia mount station here Auto FM.
I do worry. Medofo and from a Papa Bibo ne buffer suhum and an important and say Prophet Isaac of Osuhirijima Yawada Captain Jesus Prayer House ano at the Captain Jesus team no and ya doing na abesi suhum mountain so Municipal Assembly Community Center wa nani kasam say Nyankopon di fua too many adomo and soma enti okasa and sencheni di achi nan nkomhye nyina ba mu no and ya ba betna na otwemienu mu a every ukoda 20th July ekosi 3rd August Sanyora Yesu Kristo ankasa echi amaman so eka nsempa esa nyarewa ema nipa fa hodie no na se owura no ankasa yesa na ko Prophet Isaac of Osuhirijima ena onya sa enu nti no wababie Suhum Community Center yi o sanyarewa o sua brefo abonyini benya yefunu awoma emrante ade maba wabenya adwuma pa biaye nia opa akwanti obenya mekire se o how bi eda osu biara to anamon bra Suhum Community Center na obenya anu yi abotrani adaje odi for manyankopon manti no obetena ase no ahwe obi a 1-on-1 ama ha ho akwankyere ye bedi wo ye de na bebongum na obenya akwanya chia nsem frɛ number si na ginche mu fufuro bi aka akire 0505 791 300 and 0244 259 383 Captain Jesus Prayer House onyame be ya osabe na wa mo ase adore sampo anu anwia amen.
Kwame, nadi no so why na nimbo sasa.
On fa ne sika nkoma ya no fo ibi. So mo ma na sase atom mo nyi sika ne.
Enemre yimu. Abra OKP Ventures ya ba ma ensase ho nkomo aya fofofo.
Maka ho asema kire no. Mate so mo nsase ne be kura wada. Sege na fe santo.
OKP Ventures nsase de eya asase amansotwe bia ni hu otobia woda. Ena so de yemfa sika ma ne se obi mfanye japade ma wo ene wato sika gukura. OKP Ventures wo mo nsase ho nkomo de eya de eye bokokura. Omodin na wo won kasa sanse se akra de wo ma wo asase abra wo de ka ba that say ehun krata asam ne ade nyina wo mu asoto e de ama wo hwe wo mo ti kwan e wo kotoba bi number 2 na wo mu emu asa kwan ne so anasa frɛ won 0244885513 ana 0244156187 OKP Ventures to asase nanya hoto
atamfo wanya kika 92.3.
Right. I wish assembly over to me about Oba and Snappy and for my 0303 40262 and 0303 402 Oba no one come up 0541825106. Mema Wado. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Live on the radio. I want to 92.3. Alaska, they're done. You're from saying?
Your friend, original Tantan and Gafuina.
If I talk to every tia, uncle.
Alaska, you must say, in your name 24 Moka in Alaska. In fact, MPP for go or when you must say, ever or my Ganamo. Now, Alaska, so original, they be a me bar. Masama make can say, and yet or more, and I be you. I am 24 or more or my Ganamo. Say, Alaska, what is serious? How we are doing?
Tantana, Edinia, Alaska. Why?
Alaska, the dawn.
Right, Yanko.
Oh, a Juma, we are no, would your park, Sembia, and they or my name Mobra, and now say, and nothing 24, a 1 FM. Pumpo, near catch us Alaska, some now, okay, no. It's in some can say. Again, I'm penny 40 to say at him for Chief Casa Imam, and the Kisa Castle of State, and penny 4 so far more Mamo, said the Nana Kupuado, and the can of Korea Chabaumia, Emo Ayo, my Ghana, a month for Super Brebe, and penny 14 Koromo to order, and Omania, who are then or Moki Can or Mope. This is a parliament now. Ayako Hisam, Alaska Mechia, Hotel Fine Crab. Mama Africa me chiao pa nyamisha munyina radio me chiao.
Okay, ya fa na Gaddafi o say Alaska we clear loud and clear was so manya na nanado any na ban omuntumi be yi corruption tag ano na won be yi ano aye ko ye nim nipa omo ye. Oh, too bad. Udini ba bia Sophie. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Udini ba. Okay, Kodro tell yanko.
Alaska. Furniture Cambondo Goriata until it is somebody said, no man on my password. I can say, no pen and no yet. Sir, Mutriko Kentica, every book, you system. Parliament, any motion. I was telling you about the Bible. And that Ghana for say we are fine, we set our Peter fine. 22.48 billion Ghana is normal book or my parliament or Okopesca. Only when you are empty. We shall have much Ukraine, Russia. We can do so in the I have 18% or not a institutional. And the
question that you have to ask is how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana?
The inflation is 18%. Ghana is also a Ukraine and Russia and it's inflation. And now I'm going to do my Russia. I and come on it. And the vampire is the true Ghana. Yes, it was Ghana. We can't do a more body. It is a general.
And you know your Matthew Mudi and Nusun Yangas over to Suaha.
There's no almost a brother. And the area Russia will care wanting a robot.
Okay. Sham Mayadase, we didn't have your Gazavi.
The Fefiko Fodia.
Mantoyo, Yanko.
Yeah, Alaska the door, like I say. The mission of the Alaska. You job in South Kofodia for branches. Like so much help of our.
That's right.
And I'm in boss. I am playing coming regional Bakope. Me Chakuja Dupo, incoming regional secretary. Bakope, no size. Now, only Ellen Anado, only a little bit no mystery. Hey, former president. And we almost say, let me be Atamis, a former president Atamis or MPP. So MPP. Now, you know, Marco Coido, Ecosio, Coido or Atamis a Bushia. I lose the plan. I never knew if he said, or can be Atamis away.
Toyo, Toyo, Chris Assam the sign.
Almost so Atamis red card.
Toyo. Chris Assam the sign. I am to us.
Okay, my chest sign. Now, red card, no, all we show the red card. MP, MPP, parliamentary for no. On parliament for long show the red card.
And a red card no doctor the by say a postmortem no almost red card no kuno.
President Abeka so parliament next year so the red card. Mu the red card tell say so won go no.
So yo yada say na ga referee some show red card we and say players no be wo. We didn't ba bi aka so vi. Ya wadi nyina ho kwan so nya ni nya na fata ye. Mama yam fire in a professional way. Baba kata ni yanko.
Yo ya da wana CPH ma fa wale ya wadar bo Ghana. The chairman come President John Dramani Mahama yo de nyaman kan ho. No bon ho ban format with the before. Yankopon ya da be be shede ni nya Ghana for bread. Minu Alaska. Ni gidi de Ghana ha ya culture. Ke hu de ebusuafo we fletuntum mod kokko abo no kida si mesi wo fie.
That's right.
Okay. Na ye bi NPC ni there. What Fred them tomato no ni at all what call parliament about some way you ho. When him there president so the parliament. Na sisi aka the BBC. Obi anu oba kada won ko bo sombo. But on po yan fon fan twenty ko ani de ho. Atam so tiafi won sha yaka dia MPP. No ni na ko forward wadi yan. On na mo no bo ne hunda Professor Doolittle. Na ti papa Yakubon wa tun sa da friend. When two one share in yap was good in the massy, one many more yetimu. Ghana for no who the Sarapano or Yen Papa, but on them partisan policy near 2 minutes near good in the massy. Prepare Aquacada. That's what you name Yama. No, Chade, a Busaf, no, that what he get one at least, or that was a Busaf, the matter Yapeda. No one's what I do, what about. Now we don't go Musafa, man.
Baba Katani, I believe that you discuss it, me preliminary comment, but you discuss it into the substantive issue now.
Yo, something issue in there. You'll be said there. Finance Minister, Fisher need to Osinoko or the Kakada Matamia. Also, there one wire call one, what I'm Madana for. Ombre is Karakatan constituency. Equal food junction to Katan junction. Just short road, undo 1 kilometer. When you had a good 4 years in a year, complain, I won't buy a car on. Secretary for all the run about in a near later.
Right.
Finance Minister, I can't want to go why car one. On the secretary for under your problems, on
Medase. Hey, once you have a aye. We didn't even be a gas heavy.
FM.
Yabu.
We are smart, Alaska. Who said John Dramani Mahama? And you was already president. Did the Awuza? Nickname near Yabu. Yamitra Papa. What you did soon? Over fire. Yamin Town. Don't tell us, only that scrum me back. Alaska. Kusia Pia. No Kusi Blaster. You see, now on yard, on not doubt Blaster, Enima Okucho, Movino, Okofa CK, Akono by, or no fear on yard, ye no. You cannot have to see now, if you share ye lose matches. Ye Kofa Ubonibi, or also the Milo, and ye Pamono, na Kirano, na Blaster, program or and then the Nakufa, do I can say? Only the way in the ministers. I'll plan to play your name 40% community or assistant the Busiafu. Yes, the president and Nakufadu. Well, not do a Busiafu and I'll do one my Senate Secretary Sana Boati. It is resign because see we are reservoir one Sanamu property and Nakufadu Wasa, Utimi Yuma. Wasa, one of one swenny, Yaka one in the Funu Manso. Obviously, you will be not to be your number. Obviously, also, dead body. Is it your dead body? I'm asking you. Learn from Kuta, the regional secretary, Papa, or you're too much. Over Winnie, who contest. Over some Papa, no person, the person, you haven't done a number of examples for Nanko for office or Tamu. You had the carbon married to be no call. Okay,
all right. Oh, W. We didn't even have a last caller. All right, K. Yanko.
Yo, Alaska, when you couldn't Meshiamu, Yami, Eshiamu. You with them, I'm just a school. Start here, be wow, Chama 11. Now, what is Chama? No, Alaska. They said, and Quada, when we are Quada, Nick Monu, and Quada in your womb. Or Muni, they didn't say that away, Mamma. This is Uncle what I said, Uncle Crafon to our way. Because someone unit Quada, Darcy, everything, Womuna, Yabaya, Yumapa, idea good and Quano, I don't know. Uncle Crafon, no. Alaska, and the crowd is say, Yenina, Yakasa, Oman, the year Yomunsa. Fine. Then the year Yomudia, and the Bisawus and the Parliament of Papua in our Crapway. Yeah, Pan, Wabakamomi, Mitiana, or the real 2017, or inheritance, they didn't say, economy as say, and to know, and I'm not 2019, or Maura, I have no. Now, what are the end 2018 and yet I didn't try to talk about 2019.
Okay.
And Alaska, until we now would try, I would try, Namin country, Jamo, for example, for say, Jaman, Efatano, Antino, not Obia and Hano. I want to FM. I say, yay, and Mobia and stand up one. So, I come back to the organizer and Efatana, John Dramani Muhammad here, was here for social business. So, Obia was so Tabiano.
Right, KBBB on this note, you better ask pa Yamri Ayabe, Majoya Sorry so.
Alaska, best also number 7. Medin Shaso Bema Zenu out of fan club.
Okay.
Saint Jessica out of fan club. Now look at that Kuruvi or Jessica or Tio.
Okay.
So I was not Ajaramoto and no be our child.
Right. Medasi Papa Kudo, Adupo.
Alaska na chairman Kodroka Sikabio Muchucha and wasam.
Okay.
Me mama bi wo chebi ye fere mama Monica na bie mu wo my station den because fa ho na o ka chem say oh Alaska na madam fo ba ko dada anso okurantumi a wa bie mu won nkrofo ti nti mechia wa tiefo nyina adwuma wo nyina no NDC for Eastern region say hu na de bia ye sesebe nyansanfo miensan no mu free Eastern nti anya enwanwa sa ba ha no o yan senkyere nema yenso ayi no ba no ye ba yesu etimi ka nsam mama for so editum
right me da se kudu aduko na ten ke friend George who was home lorry station who we bia ma wuti adwuma din. Thank you for being part and parcel of this wonderful show. Professor Ali Disabo is up next. Namon ke chire sadan
King Kong, we are ready more pabini. We are ready more King Kong, we are ready more pabini. I want to answer. We are taking the creature, we see a breath. We are the Abeni, who fire Wawa, who fire Doom, who fire Kapempe, where you da go to me feeder, the one here, Alaska, our hotel 92.3. Why you
Papa? Miratu Ahasam, Money Ahuto F 92.3 FM.
Right, 3 minutes into 5 p.m. Professor Ali Disabo Atenase. And now we have a boom na ya chira se akoyala soap no mamen kanfo amfama akoyala soap no eye ye samra won waso bia yes
Well, on Sunday dawn, we all woke up to what possibly could be the biggest upset in any internal partisan political elections in Ghana's history, possibly, which is the emergence of a new general secretary for the New Patriotic Party. And the big task, the only question on their minds after they won, he, of course, together with the new leadership, was 2024, an attempt to do what no party before them have done before, an attempt to break the eight. And so today, we are going to be speaking to this man, Justin Frimpong Kodia, JFK. And if you missed it, this is how he won. He won with 2,837 of the delegates' votes cast, that is 51.34%, against the former incumbent, John Boydu, 2,524 votes. That's 45.6%. And as I've said, it was a major, major upset. Many people, including myself, never saw this coming until very late. That is Friday night into Saturday morning before we got hint that he was going to pull the major upsets. And so tonight, John Boydu is no longer in the picture. He is the man of the hour. He's my guest tonight. He's in the studio with me here in our studios. That's him there on my screen. He's my guest tonight. We're going to have 1 hour. I know many of you don't really know him. I know after he won and we're analyzing, some of you were telling me, I mean, where did he come from? Listen, he's been there. He's done that. He's done student politics for years. Tonight, he will tell us his story and how he managed to pull this off. You want to stay with me for this after the break. Justin Frimpong Kodia is my guest on PM Express. And thank you very much for staying with us on PM Express. My guest is in the studio, is Justin Frimpong Kodia. That's JFK for short. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this. Let me start by asking you, have you recovered?
Evans, let me take this opportunity to greet our viewers who are watching us at this time of the night. And even before I proceed to respond to your question, again, let me use the opportunity to also thank the Almighty God for seeing us through this whole electoral process. You know, we began from the polling station, then from the polling station to electoral area, the constituency region, and the climax of it was the national executive elections. So we are very happy for the success that we chalked, and also to thank His Excellency, the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for the immense support and contribution towards us having this successful elections. Then again, the planning committee for the whole national elections under the chairmanship of Abankwayebua. He was in charge of the whole planning process, and Mr. McMahon was in charge of the elections committee. So they did a yeoman's job, and definitely cannot mention what happened on Saturday without also referring to the Ghana Police, headed by the IGP, COP Dampare, for the wonderful job that the police service did on the Saturday. And again, the media. You went there early on Saturday.
You kept us awake for more than. Thank you very much for. And I haven't recovered because I was here Friday night all the way.
And it was very stressful.
Was very extremely stressful.
Saturday morning to the next day,
Sunday morning.
I believe you even left there very
late. After you spoke to us. That's 5 a.m.
Around 5
a.m. Yes.
Then before you can unpack your stuff and leave, that would get into around 7.
Yes.
So kudos to you.
Thank you very much
for the good job and that the media did.
But whilst you're saying that, congratulations to you too. It's in order.
Yes.
It's in order.
Yes. Thank you very much. And have I recovered?
Yes. Have you?
It was yesterday that I actually remembered or got to understand that I was the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party.
You won this on Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, before you woke up to realization
no,
that...
it was even Tuesday later on in the day, around 5 p.m.
What reminded you?
The new elected national executives went to pay a courtesy call on His Excellency the President.
Okay.
So we had that discussion, and everything went on successfully. So afterwards, we decided to go and see the Vice President at his office. So when he walked, we were already seated, and I remember the third vice chairperson was sitting closer to the gate, then the second vice, then the first vice, then myself before the chairman. So he walked after greeting them. Then he mentioned, General.
Who's this? That's the president?
That's the vice president.
The vice president.
He said, General. And
you're wondering.
I didn't respond.
Who are you referring?
I didn't know.
I'm checking. Who is that?
I didn't even respond. So it was the first vice chairperson who drew my attention.